Hey there, little mama. You know what? 4th of July is coming, and we have had a whole summer full of celebrating our country and our servicemen, and even on Labor Day, celebrating our labor. Because this country is based on those things: a great government full of patriotism, military people that fight for us, and the labor force that sews together the actual very fiber of our country, our roads and streets and storehouses. You know, it's a good thing to teach your kids to love America. It doesn't seem to be very popular right now, but it is is the world's last hope. And we need to solidify that in our kids. And today I have someone that loves their country, and I can't wait for her to help you and inspire me as a grandma to make our country what it should be and to move it forward into the generations to come. So I'm excited for you to meet her. So let's get to it. Welcome to the Moms Like Us podcast, where moms just like you learn strategies, systems, and skills through expert interviews and real-life insight designed to take your marriage, mothering, and home to the expert level. Hi, I'm Mona Corwin, your mom mentor and host, author, international speaker, and the founder of the Moms Like Us Academy. I've been coaching moms for over 25 years, and I have some really good news for you. Motherhood isn't a natural talent. It's a skill, and you can learn it. You can crush it at motherhood instead of motherhood crushing you. So let's get to today's show. Hey, and I am excited to tell you about our guest today, and her name is Debbie Kraulidis. She is the Vice President of Moms for America. I am involved with Moms for America and have been for a really long time. And I love the way they love on their moms, and they help people just like you and just like me, moms just like us, really go in and sow patriotism into the very fiber of our families, our communities, and our country. And Debbie's going to help us today learn how to do just exactly that. So I'm going to bring Debbie up out of the green room because we want to see her. Hey, Debbie. How are you?
I'm out of the green room and I'm wearing green.
You are. That's good. I have my 4th of July on.
I should have done that, and I just was doing podcast today, so I'm sorry. So I'm with you in spirit there with that red, white, and blue.
Yeah, but you're like the green fields of our country, right? We can do that. It'll work.
So, Debbie, thank you for having me on, Mona. You know, we love you. Moms for America loves Mona. Boy, she is training moms all across this country and being a phenomenal mentor. I want to say this right at the top of the show. I look at you as a mentor to me.
Aww.
So thank you. And I've called you about a lot of things in the past. We've had great discussions. Thank you for being just a good, solid voice and an inspiration for all of us. So
well, you're so sweet. Well, you have a daughter and 2 sons. So why don't you just tell us a little bit more about you? I mean, you're not just a podcaster and a vice president to the Moms Like Us, Moms for America. So tell our family, our moms, about you.
Sure. Well, I want to start with the fact that I'm married for 29 years. So glory to God. That is, in today's world, that is an accomplishment. So thank you, Jesus, for getting my husband and I through 29 years of marriage. And we're still going. I told him for the 30th, I want to go to Hawaii. So I'm getting that in the books already. Then together we have 3 children. Noah's 25 years old. He just got married almost 2 years ago. So my first one is out of the nest and married. And my middle daughter is Haley. She's 23, just finished college, just graduated, and she does help on the Moms for America national team.
And she,
And then my youngest is Dylan. He's 18 and he's graduating this year from high school, and he's going to be a fireman. So all of my kids love the Lord. Thank you, God. And all the kids still are, pressing forward and doing the best they can, and they love America. So I'm a proud mom because it takes a lot to get to that and to hold on to that in today's culture.
and that is really, I remember I was kind of fussing over how bad the colleges are. And I was kind of like, grumbling a little bit. And I thought there's something good that, like what is good that came out of all of that? My kids going to college. And I thought, you know what? Every single one of them left college still loving God, still conservative, and still patriots. And I thought, that's interesting. I had never thought of that before. I mean, the loving God thing for sure.
Right.
But I realized, Debbie, we had sown patriotism into them. Like my husband, Warren, he loves his country. Like if they just start naming the presidents, I think he'd cry. Like he just loves his country. And, always a flag out in front of our house. Always a big deal on all of the things. Every single one of the kids, when they got a home or they were renting a house, a flag arrived. And,
I love that.
it's just really sewn into us. And quite frankly, I don't know how we really did that. And so as I thought about what I wanted my moms like us, what I wanted them to learn was how do they sew that in there? These women love their country, Debbie. They want to raise good kids. They want their marriages to last like yours. They want to be at the end of sending the last one off and say, hey, you know what? We made it. They
Right.
don't want to screw up their kids, and they want their marriages to last. So help us today with ideas and encouragement and even maybe some sad statistics about what's going on in our country and how we can, kind of hunker down in our homes and make it right there.
Well, we know that everything begins and ends in the home. So, to your point, moms are the heartbeat of the home. We always say we love the dads. We couldn't do it without the dads, right?
Yeah.
But the moms are the nurturers, the teachers, are the ones that have a special gifting from God. So, along with teaching them about our faith and hope, we do have to teach them about our freedoms. And it does come back to the moms, and it's the mom and dad in the home that will teach it. I think patriotism is contagious. I think it is just kind of like, if you're a Cubs fan or a Sox fan, I'll say that because I'm in Illinois, you raise your kids in that, it's the Cubs on, you have a Cubs hat, we have this, that. And we kind of always rally around something we love or believe, don't we?
Yeah, sure.
And that's what we should do with our country.
Mm.
And I do think, Mona, you know what your thoughts are on this. I think sometimes the battle is so big and there's so many things in the culture that moms are addressing that maybe patriotism and freedom just don't get discussed in the home like they used to. But it is something that we have to implant in the hearts and the minds of our kids. What is it to be patriotic? And it is a love of America in our hearts. And then we celebrate it and we honor it through celebrations and through sacrifice. And if we don't, and this is my big pitch at the beginning of the show here, if we do not restore patriotism in our homes all across America, we will have children and generations that do not appreciate or love freedom, and we will lose freedom. That's
Because
the
they're
fact.
not really teaching it in the schools, are they?
No, they're rewriting history in the schools, right? 40% of the students now believe that our American heritage is horrible. So 40%'s gone, probably close to 50, and they're rewriting history. They're making America to be a terrible country and that nothing good ever happened and that, freedom it doesn't really matter, and socialism is kind of cool, and maybe communism is interesting. They've just reworded, and they're manufacturing a new narrative, and unfortunately, now the kids are falling for it. So that's why we just have to really take the initiative and teach it in our home and make this be a priority, that America is great. It's not perfect, but it's great. A freedom is not free. It's been paid for. It has been bought by the blood of soldiers. I mean, if the kids knew what freedom didn't look like, they
Mm.
would surely understand and put a panic right in their little panties. So that's what we have to do. We have to really bring the reality of what freedom is and the reality of where it could go, where a country will go, and what the future will look like if we don't really protect it and defend it.
It's kind of like I was thinking about all the transgender stuff, and we have a we had a Moms Like Us pop up here in Dallas. And for those of you that live in the Dallas area, we have pop ups all the time, and everybody just comes over to my house, and we bring our lunch, and I teach on a topic that people have been asking about. And I was teaching on the transgender movement, and I told them it is so important that you introduce the truth first.
Mm.
And I think that's the same with patriotism,
Yeah.
what we were talking about, doing it in the home. Because when they know something, then when they hear the second thing, the second thing gets measured to the first thing.
Right. Because
And
they have a
if they hear it,
foundation.
yeah, if they've heard, you know, crazy stuff about George Washington or whatever, then when you say it, then they're going to measure it because you're the second voice, which is one of the problems with the school system at this point, some school systems, I should say. And they're hearing the authority isn't you. You're not the authority because you have
Right.
given authority to the thing. I know that when our oldest son was in junior high, we fought the school system back then. They were bringing the sex education in, and we were on the curriculum boards, and we were doing all the things. And I was at every school board meeting. They were so glad when
Right.
I left.
Right.
They were so glad when I left. But this isn't new that we have to fight. This isn't
Right.
new. The
Right.
sad thing is that progressively, as they love to call themselves as progressive, that's what they do. They progressively move things. And we would get good curriculum in, and then we were told that they could bring in outside sources. And so they would just bring the outside sources in and not use the curriculum that we had. So it's not always the curriculum, it is the ideology of the school and the ideology of the teachers that were taught in the colleges. And there truly is a reason why this has deteriorated the way it has. And
It
history
has.
is where it's getting hit the hardest.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the
Yeah.
things that we can do?
Well, and I was just going to mention the fact too, in a lot of schools now, they do not even require the children to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
If they say
So,
it, some of
yeah,
them
if
don't
they
say
say
it.
it. Yeah, they don't say it, they don't stand, there is no reverence in the school. So we know that the school is already compromised. We all know that. Actually, it's been taken over by um,
Hmm.
really forces way out of our control. So moms have to figure out their situation with their schools.
Hmm.
But if you are homeschooling, whatever you're doing in your home, the first thing I always say to everyone is just be the example, live it out. I love your story about Warren because he put the flag out, right? He initiated that in the home. You supported that. You discussed it. So like in our home, like, right, if we raised our kids, if we went to the baseball field and, if we went to a church, my husband took his baseball cap off. So my kids did. If the anthem played, we stood. If we did the Pledge of Allegiance, we put our hand over our heart. If we decided that we were going to pray, we would close our eyes and we would kneel and we would come to God. Whatever we do, we are the example. So if mom and dad make it important, the kids will naturally they'll naturally get it. It'll become a part of their fiber, just like when you were a super fan of a sports team, whatever that is. You are your faith, the same thing. Live it out, and it's contagious to our kids. So that's the first place I would start. Parents, just start thinking about living it out and making it a priority in your home. Then the second one is teach them about America's great history, in America's places. I mean, we do Liberty trips. They're on our website. You can go across America and see the historical sites. Talk about the history of America in interesting ways, whether you see movies or books or there's so many different ways out there now that you can communicate history in a very interesting way. There's Monumental with Kirk Cameron.
Mm.
There's the Little Patriots with that Ben Carson does. There's the Tuttle Twins. There's like all of these ways that you can teach them the history correctly. And I think to your point, once we teach them the correct history, when the crazy history comes in that is rewriting and taking incredible liberties, the kids then have an idea and understand the fact that I know this because mom and dad taught me this, and these variations will not stick. And then the third one is I kind of like it's one of the things you talked about too is our American foundations.
Mm.
Are you putting out your flag? Are you talking about the holidays and what they mean? I just had a Gold Star mom on the podcast for Moms for America, and we were talking about Memorial Day. Memorial Day is a perfect opportunity for you to discuss the fact that soldiers fought for our freedom. And she said to me something really interesting, Mona. She said, I think the reason why this next generation isn't patriotic or doesn't understand freedom and have that gratitude in their hearts is because they've just been kind of given it. Um, it's just been delivered to them freely. So there's no skin in the game. So Memorial Day, a perfect day to talk about our fallen soldiers and fighting for it. 4th of July, make it the biggest holiday ever, right? What did you do in the 4th of July, Mona? I mean, we did parades and we did red, white, and blue, and we put out our flags and we did fireworks and we talked about freedom and we talked about 1776 and how we can live the American dream because we are free. So I think if we live it, we teach it, and then we experience it through the holidays and opportunities. Maybe it's going to, a cemetery. Maybe it's going to see your veterans. Maybe it's reading about the Star Spangled Banner. Maybe it's understanding the battles, and maybe just understanding what the American dream is. Because we have that opportunity that so many other countries don't have. The other thing is talk with someone about socialism. We have different podcasts and information, but once kids understand what it's like to live under communism, what it's like to live in China, or what it's even just the bondage of socialism, they will understand that they can start their own business, live the American dream. I mean, in the land of opportunity, no one's holding us back here in America. So those are some
They're not telling our kids this.
right. These are some things that we can do right in our homes and right as moms and as dads.
That is perfect. I know that even watching old movies or old documentaries where they're literally coming off of the boats and stuff like that, that's powerful. And then to be able to stop it and say, these are people's sons and daughters. Well, not daughters,
Yeah.
but their moms are at home,
Right.
and some of those boys didn't come home. Can you imagine?
Right.
But they
Yeah.
love their country so much that some of them would not tell their age so that they could go and fight the enemy that would try to
Right.
take our country. And I think it is the way we describe it. It is the way we describe it because as it's described on other outside of our homes and on TV and such, it makes us look like mean capitalist bad people that just are unkind and that's kind of what we're growing, right? They're kind of
Yeah.
ending up like this.
Right. I mean, what they're doing to this next generation is horrible. Let alone they're stealing their hopes, their dreams, but they're stealing their country. They're stealing their faith. And I don't want to concentrate on the negative because I know as moms, we know how tough the attacks are in our family, which really just has to make us understand how big the battle is. The battle for our families is huge. And equally so is the battle for our country. because our grandkids, our kids, I mean, where do we go if America fails? There really is nowhere to go. There is nowhere with a constitution like ours. There is nowhere that you can really be anything you want to be. It's not perfect and nothing is, but America is great. And America is a gift, and freedom is a gift. And a
Yeah.
lot of people paid a lot for that freedom. And so we have to really just teach it in the homes. And, you could do, like we have on our website, we have a Restoring Patriotism page, and we have everything on there. We have everything everything you would need to raise patriots. I mean, there's all kinds of other programs. There's American Heritage Girls, which is a great alternative to Girl Scouts. They have a patriotic badge. They teach patriotism. There's Trail Life for young boys. They have a patriotic pledge. They teach about the greatness of America. We've got all kinds of books and programs, and everything what Dr. Ben Carson has done, and what we have through the cottage meetings.
Mm.
If moms understand the principles of liberty, they'll teach them to their kids. If moms understand what freedom is, they'll teach that to their kids.
Well,
Moms,
tell them
strong
about the
mom.
cottage meetings, because
Well,
you and I know
right.
what they are. It
Right.
sounds
So
like, oh, well,
our,
that sounds like fun. What are we doing?
yeah.
Let's go to
So
a
our
cottage.
signature program, right? Our signature program, I kind of call it a Bible study for patriotism.
I love it.
It's a 12-part series, and you get the book and you go through the 12 principles of liberty. So they talk about virtue and hope and harvesting and patriotism and faith and all these principles. Once you go through this class, you really know more probably than any legislator, but it's done in a very interesting way. It's a half-hour program. You watch the video, you go through the book, and you discuss this. You can do this with online. We do it online all the time with your online community, or you can do it in your community and host one in your home. But it's going through the 12 principles of liberty, so you can teach them to your kids. All those great stories. You'll hear all the stories of Thomas Jefferson and George Washington and the signing of the Declaration and the Constitution, and what scriptures relate to freedom and what scriptures relate to liberty, and different activities and ideas that you can share in your home. Julian Jackson is our teacher, our lead teacher on this, and her son plays professional basketball. Well, when everybody decided to sit for the anthem, do you know what her son did? He stood. And why did he stand, Mona?
Because he
Because
knows.
Julene taught him the principles of liberty in his home. Why do our kids stand for the national anthem? Why do they put their hand over our hearts? Why do they take their baseball cap off when they walk into church or when the anthem plays? Because we do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that, the cottage meetings, for those of you that are in the Moms Like Us Academy, we do that. I do that once a year. And we go through it just like we're a community, because we are. And we learn and we talk and we share things. And so the Moms Like Us Academy can help you with that too. But then there's also, you can do it through Moms for America. And Debbie, you have something that y'all just started doing for the kids.
Right. Well, we did. One thing I was mentioned too is we just did a Liberty Kids Club too, which is kind of like taking a modified version of the cottage meetings and then teaching that to the kids. So we also have Liberty Kids Club, and we also have cottage meeting for kids, along with the parents having the cottage meeting for them. So we have a whole initiative that teaches the 12 principles of liberty. So that's super cool. But I think you're talking about the fact that we did Restoring Patriotism.
Yes.
So we, about a year and a half ago, and it's been progressing, we're kind of like into Restoring Patriotism 2 right now. We knew that we had to do an initiative because we have a threefold mission, right? It's empowering moms, promoting liberty, and raising patriots. That's what Moms for America is all about. Raising kids that love God, family, and America. So we wanted to kind of say, hey, moms, teach patriotism in your home. Let's just give you a good, gentle reminder. In fact, let's do a whole little initiative for you. So all you got to do is order it. Now, this is not a commercial to order this, but it is a commercial to let you know that we have this. So we started this little initiative, Restoring Patriotism, with a Patriot Pack. You order this Patriot Pack, and
Put
in
it
the
over
Patriot
closer
Pack,
to you. Put it
Oh,
over
a little
right
closer?
underneath your chin. Right under
Mhm.
your chin. There you go.
Sorry. Patriot
Yeah.
bag,
So it's
yeah.
like a backpack.
Okay. Yeah, it's a backpack. Sorry, I've got my camera in a different way here so I can
That's
see
fine.
you and see me. And then you get this Patriot pack, you get it delivered to the home. Oh, what is this, kid? Something special just came in the mail. So we also have a patriotic kid shirt. Okay. Look at that. Super
Very cute.
cute. All right. So you get a flag, you get a constitution, you get a sticker. So, but the thing that I absolutely love is we wrote this book. We worked on this book together, and it's called I'm a Patriotic Kid. The cover looks a little young. It really does go through about 10 or 11 years old, but it has everything in here. It talks about the symbols of freedom. It talks about the Declaration of Independence. It's got like a word search. It's got the U.S. Constitution. Um, Talks about the American flag, talks about the colors of the flag, the symbols, the Star Spangled Banner, the Statue of Liberty. It's got a patriotic word search. It just has everything. Connect the dots on the Liberty Bell. So we just talk about America the Great. On the back, we have the America's Creed, which is such an important creed for the kids to learn and understand. And in the beginning of it says, are you a patriot? Take the quiz. So, with this quiz, when you start this, do you love America? Great opportunity, parents, for you to talk about America, why you should love America, why you should appreciate it. Do you respect and honor your country? Great principles to talk about. Can you recite the Pledge of Allegiance? Quick test. Do you appreciate the gift of freedom? And are you proud to be an American? The other thing is too, Lee Greenwood let us put his song in here. God bless the USA. So
Yeah.
this is just a great resource for you to have a good discussion there at home, and it's perfect for around 4th of July. It's actually perfect for the summer. To just talk about patriotism, talk about our country, and talk about freedom and raising a generation of patriots.
I believe we can change this.
I do
I
too.
have such good hope. You know, I listen every day to stuff so I can be alert and aware, so I can answer questions for moms. But I still
Yes.
believe that moms have the power to do this. And yeah, I do.
Now,
I
can
do.
I give your mama something else?
Yeah.
Okay, so that Patriot Pack, you can get that at momsamerica.us.
Mm-hmm.
If you type in Mona, all right, you type in Mona. How about this? Do you have your own little code? Okay,
I got a
you type
code.
in, yeah, you type in Mona, you're going to get 25% off. I think this is $24. I'm not really sure. Actually, I got to go back on and look. But for all that, it's $24, and that includes delivery. I'm going to give everybody a free book that Kimberly worked on, and it's called Raising a Generation of Patriots.
Oh, you're
So,
kidding me.
yep. So, for Moms for
That's a good
America,
book.
Raising a Generation of Patriots, if you order this and you say Mona, you'll get 25% off. Plus, you will get Raising a Generation of Patriots because it is that important.
It
And if
is.
these stories inspire you, yes and amen. If this book gives you an opportunity to talk about America, yes and amen. And if this packet, you send this to your grandkids. I mean, you
Yeah.
could do whatever you want with this,
Oh, I'm
right?
totally sending it to
Um,
mine.
yeah, it's just a great opportunity to talk about America at your kitchen table and, just have them ask those questions. I mean, the world's talking to them about everything. I mean, we got to just be on the ball with America and what it is and defend her.
And to be that first voice,
Yeah,
because we have the ability with our first voice of not
yeah,
just teaching, but of sowing emotion and sowing. Because patriotism is more than just being patriotic.
right,
Patriotic is like waving the flag, putting your hand over your
right.
heart, taking off your hat. But when we sow
Something in your heart.
patriotism, we're sowing it into their hearts.
Yeah,
And
it is.
yeah, and
And it's gratitude too. Like
mm,
once they understand why America is so beautiful and so great and such a great opportunity. Would you want to live anywhere else? Would you
no,
want to raise your kids anywhere else? Could you imagine raising your children in one of these communist country? I mean,
no.
what kind of hope is there? It's empty and it's dead, but we have that. So if we can get that in their hearts, Mona, exactly. We can put that patriotism in our heart and appreciation and gratitude. I mean, these kids will really be world changers for sure.
And I think that's really cool too, because I was talking to someone who is not from our country, and she was kind of talking about things that were going on. And I said, oh, no. Americans don't think that way. And she goes, yeah, I know. Americans don't. I said, we have a different thing sewn inside of us. We look different and we talk different, whether you like it or not, because we are different. Because even though we may not realize what's been sown into our country, it is still growing us up. It's still there. We just have to water it and feed it with things like that. And it is within the home that's going to take place.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
You're doing
So
such
to
a
your
good
moms, to your moms, restore patriotism in your home. Restore it with your children and your grandchildren, and we will change the trajectory of this country, because it's embedded in our hearts and in our minds and in our country freedom, but we have to protect it, and we have to raise kids that appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for what you're doing with all of this. And if you don't watch Debbie's podcast, the Moms for America podcast, you really should. It interviews some really amazing people, and the podcast is really good. You do really, really good job. I could learn from you.
Thank you. Speaking about we're just talking culture. Every issue is a mom issue, and that's why we appreciate what you do, Mona. You are a mentor to all of us, and so moms, take advantage of Mona's Moms Like Us Academy and all the gifts that she has to teach, because being a mom is not easy. We need help, and we need mentors, and we need Titus women around us. So thank you, Mona.
You're welcome. I love doing it. Okay. I'm going to talk to my girls, so I'm going to send you back into the green room.
All right. And make sure that they go ahead and they put Mona, momsforamerica.us, and get your Patriot Pack and your free book.
Now, did you hear that? Yeah. Moms, you are the influencer. And we can get frustrated with things that are going on, but try not to get off into the fringe and try to get into the solid soil of your kids. And what you sow in there will grow. And when something comes up next to it, if it doesn't look right, they'll know it. And it will seem not right, because you'll be the first voice. So be the first voice for your kids in the topic of patriotism, because we love our country. All right, that's it, little mama. Now remember, moms like us do things like this. We gather around and we talk about things that matter. And you know what? When we do, I always want you to be there. I wish you could be right here at the table with me, but I don't think we'd all fit. But I'll see you next time on Moms Like Us Do Things Like This. Bye for now. I sure hope you enjoyed this episode of Moms Like Us Do Things Like This. Sweetheart, we have so much more over on the website, Moms Like Us, and we also are on Instagram at momslikeus__, and you can just join us over there to learn why we should know what we should know, what we should know. But I have got a little special thing that we have in the Moms Like Us world. It's called the Moms Like Us Academy, and I hope you'll consider it. You can find out more about it on the momslikeus.org website, but it is full of masterclasses that teach you how. Because, girl, motherhood isn't a natural talent. It's a skill, and you can learn it. But to learn it, you have to know how. And that's where we do it. That's where moms just like us, moms just like you, we make it happen. So I hope that you will go over and join us in the Moms Like Us Academy. Okay, that's it. Bye for now.